there is another subject matter in the lexical aspects that we're going to discuss, and it's proper names. I single it out not only because it's the subject matter of my PhD thesis, but also because I know how important they may be, and from small individual documents to literary texts and to um, quite an amount of legal documents. Proper names that include personal names of people and names of companies and geographical names, so place names, and other everything which is written in with capital letter in Ukrainian, and most of them written with capital letter in English, which is also different a bit. But here we'll talk about cases when we are not at liberty to provide our own translations of proper names. We need to look for them and look up on at some reference literature in the maps, and which maps, if we are talking about proper names, it would be a mistake to look for them on Google Maps, because the place names very often they translated them automatically and not correctly. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, if you translate place names, there are certain reference documents of Ukrainian government that we should use, and only if we cannot find them in official sources, then we can use others like Wikipedia. And the last resort is, of course, Google Translate, because there are very small, for example, villages or settlements in different countries that we have no idea how they are pronounced and how should be rendered, and they are not found on regular maps. Speaking about the names of people, and we are not at liberty to translate names of officials, for example, from different countries, and we need to look for them how they've been already translated in official sources. So in Ukrainian media, sometimes there are different variants, but usually we need to consult with them. And if we don't find them, we have to find out how this or that name is pronounced in the original language. Yes, it's often not English, and do transcription of that. So it's just a couple of hints of why it is important to deal with the proper names. What else? Compatibility of words, as far as I remember, it was there. It is one of the major problems for beginners, I would say. Not only for beginners, I think for all of us. The compatibility of words is never the same in English and in Ukrainian. So there is usually some kind of coinciding at this level, but never fully. And we have to be very careful which words come together well. So you'll keep it in mind, please, because when you translate the second part of the text that you have already started translating, and many of you sent it to me, and I promise I will read and give you feedback. It is the kind of text where compatibility of words is really of high importance. So make sure that you find a variant of translation which fits well in Ukrainian style and in Ukrainian compatibility rules. There are dictionaries of compatibility, but my deep belief is that it almost always based on our experience in reading in Ukrainian and our feeling of the language. It's not very professional to talk about feelings, yes, but I must say that feeling the language is the most important thing. When you read the some text in English, you no. Usually, I explain it to students that at the classes of interpreting, but it very well goes with translation too. So when we read or hear a sentence, some part of it goes here to our mind, the information part, the informative part, facts, and actions, processes, everything goes here. But there is also a huge part that goes through our heart. So it's the general mood of the statement, uh, emotional coloring of the word, additional meanings of key words. So we just feel it. And if we catch it all together, both the information that comes through our mind and the emotional part that goes through the heart, then we are ready to switch to another language and find correct and the best equivalents to make it sound really close to the original. Because the what is the main function of our translation work? Our task as translators and as interpreters is to render the meaning of what we've just learned in the way that would influence the reader or the listener in the same way as if it were in one and the same language. So if you ask me if it is possible at all, yes, never 100%. Yes, but we should try to get as close as possible to that. Okay, it's a very long talk, and we'll continue this discussion next time. But I'd like to move on to the grammatical aspects that we are going to discuss. Grammar is huge, and I used to teach contrastive grammar of English and Ukrainian, and I even made a textbook on that subject matter. And I must say that we can learn it, discuss it, train for years, But I've chosen the most the subjects where English and Ukrainian have greatest differences. Like in word order, it's Ukrainian is considered to have free word order, which is not true. Okay, we can change the place of words within a sentence, and it will be understandable still, and it will not change the whole meaning into the opposite, like in English. Yes, so it's a very famous phrase like John loves Mary. Yes, Mary loves John. Who loves who? Yes. If we change the word order in Ukrainian, nothing will be different because thanks to our endings and cases. Yes. But in English, the meaning is absolutely different. In Ukrainian, the role of the word order is different, but is as important as in English. So, and it works in different ways. Another thing is that we don't have the same parts of speech or word groups. Yes, in English we've got articles, and we don't have in Ukrainian them in Ukrainian, and we all often underestimate the meaning of the the importance of articles. Yes, but we need to understand when we can omit them, when we are obliged to replace them with something different else in Ukrainian. The same is when we translate from Ukrainian into English. We've got this adverbial participle, which is diaphragmatic, and it's quite a challenge sometimes to translate it into English, because there isn't such thing in English. It's substituted by other things. What else? In English, participles, they have predicative complexes. Yes, if you remember, I want you to do it. You to do it is predicative complex, and we need first thing is to single them out of the sentence, and second is to understand how they are rendered into Ukrainian, and be able to choose the best way to do it. So these are, and also in English there are noun clusters. So when we've got many nouns modifying one another, and with the head word in the end, and we don't have this thing in Ukrainian, and it's always a challenge to put words in correct order, use adjectives and other parts of speech to make it sound okay. This is it. So I've just covered the main lexical and grammatical aspects that we're going to discuss during the course. But I should also mention the material. Yes, what texts we're going to deal with, what types of texts. So first month is for the articles about intercultural communication. So intercultural differences. These articles are interesting on their own. So, and at the same time, they bring a lot of interesting language material to deal with, and to know how to apply the a bit of theoretical material we're going to study. Next, we'll move on from they're of general, I would say, general character. You know, when you start receiving assignments for translation, they will say general theme. Okay, don't buy it. You should always find out what they mean by general theme, because sometimes it means like very specific text full of terminology, and you have to be very careful about that. But these articles are of general character. Next month will be for the issues that are relevant for the world of today. I don't know. Maybe this year I will include the war as one of the subjects, because they were the UN Sustainability Development Goals, and they were always very relevant for translators, because that's these are the themes around which all the documentation is prepared, interpreting at some round tables and conferences are held, and so on and so forth. Now I know that a lot of us deal with the news about the war, and documents for weapons, and some other. So this reality is probably needs to be included. I think that some part of it will be devoted to this subject matter. I cannot say that I'm an expert in this type of text, but we need to take them. There are glossaries and terminology, the let's say vocabularies, yes, that translators exchange with each other, and so on. We can use them. Then the third part will be about informational and analytical articles and texts, probably some reports. I've got some interesting materials from what I have already translated myself. Um, I don't know if you would like it, but or one of them is very useful for torture protection and the situation in prisons, and so everything. Maybe one small part of it will go there, but in general, the last part is informational and analytical text. So we go from general to more specific, and we'll deal with the general lexis first, and then we'll add more work on the terminology and specific types of texts, which require not only the knowledge of terminology itself, but also the knowledge of style, a specific style of these types of texts. So this is our material. Concerning now, it's all I wanted to say today about the course we are going to deal with. Next thing is technological. What is the plan? So first 2 months, you will be you will have to deal not only with the translations, but also insertions of some technically difficult elements for you to see translation business a bit. I cannot say if I'm very successful in business of translation if I'm not, but I've learned quite a lot during all these years, and I would happily share with you my knowledge on how to be prepared, how to react to any uh, job offers, what to do for clients to find them, to find you, because it is the one of the most difficult things. If you decide to be an independent translator or interpreter, you need to be known. Okay, it's just you need to be visible, you need to be known, and before the word of mouth will bring you more translation jobs or interpreting jobs, the time will pass, and not many people like patient enough or have enough resources to wait for this time to come. Yes, and here some small tips of how to do it may help you, and because I wish you all uh, to proceed to go on with this type of activity. I will share happily. Hope it will help a bit. There are also things that give away professional translators, uh, not so professional translators. You know how you communicate with clients, what your responses are, what kind of questions you ask, or what kind of information you request from them, how you are able to insist on your viewpoint. The question very often arises if translators need some theoretical knowledge. Here I will say something which may help you in the future, because sometimes there are conflicts between clients and translators, and many people think that they know how to translate. They know some English. You don't be surprised if somebody says, my daughter knows English very well, and she thinks that you've translated wrongly. So I've heard all kinds of stories, yes? And here you need to be confident enough and knowledgeable enough to give your reasons why you made this or that decision, because usually translation is always about making decisions. It's like choosing between 2, 3, 4 options, and you make this choice, and you know why you made it, and you can explain it. So this is um, a very important thing, because our job is always about people. We could say that translation is more about text, but in the end of the day, it's always about people. Um, what else? Uh, Professional ethics and all things. I will mention them, like from time to time, like today about honesty. And by the way, that's an interesting point. We very often deal with people's documents, yes, with personal information. And for professional translators, it goes without saying that it's untouchable. It's under very strict confidentiality. But sometimes people who just know foreign language, yes, and uh, actually almost, okay, a lot of people think that if you know foreign language, you can do translation. Uh, some of people who are not professionals, they take this job, like they translate some documents, and then I know stories about people who used this information on passport, or they disclosed this information to somebody else, and so on. So this is absolutely unacceptable, and I thought it goes without saying, but turns out that some people don't understand that, and that's uh, quite surprising and unpleasant. And also confidentiality, this is a kind of professional defamation for experienced translators and interpreters. We don't tell things, we, we don't even tell something that can be told, just in case. And I think that's mm, any defamation is bad, but professionally it is right, because the information we have can be used for not only commercial but state purposes, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you've come across this in your experience, but I've had a lot of documents that are confidential and for interpreted during the meetings that nobody should know about, and so on and so forth. And I was threatened, by the way, at some point, that if some information leaks, they will send some guys in balaclavas and so on. So even this happens, but not often, just a couple of times in my life. Yes, this is it. And also, I'll tell about new types of translation and interpreting. For example, I'll give you. I worked with the evaluation team for they were evaluating the U.S. government program on the political reform in Ukraine. And my assignment, my task was to travel with the group of experts to different parts of Ukraine and do simultaneous translation. So, what is simultaneous translation? It's when I was translating in on my laptop what people were saying in Ukrainian. So they didn't want to lose time for recording, then transcribing, then translating the transcript, and so on. And my task was to translate ad hoc and without them stopping, and so on. Very interesting thing. And another, it is reverse from ad side translation, when you look at the paper and just say in another language what's written. This skill is very good for job interview, because even if you don't do it in your job, they give you this sheet of paper, and you need to interpret immediately what you read, and quickly and confidently, and it's usually not very easy to do. So why then one more unusual thing to do is simultaneous interpreting with guide uh, guide equipment, guide to equipment. I don't remember what they call it now. But the thing is that when you translate simultaneously, you sit in a booth quietly, and you are wearing your earphones, and you've got a microphone, and you've got a partner who is next to you, and you switch from one. You interpret in turns. The sound goes in your ears, and you speak simultaneously into the microphone. But this tour guide uh, thing, you don't wear any earphones, and you listen to what's going on in the room, and you interpret simultaneously. So it's a disaster. I just once did it, and I don't want to do it again, especially when a lot of people are talking at the same time. And, just for you to be prepared, uh, now, with the economy of the whole world in crisis, even long before the war, all people are trying to save on translators, to save on interpreters, whatever they can do. Like, you'll receive the um, request to do some editing, of post editing, so called. So they use Google Translate or any other machine translation tool, and they ask you to edit it. Why? Because editing and proofreading is half the price, and so on. And so it's you will see how it goes. And in the just a couple of words in the end about the machine translation. So about my requirements in machine translation and so on. I am not uh, Luddite. So if you remember, there were people in England who were machinery and so on. That was replacing people. But and I accept the fact that machine translation has been developing like rocket science, very fast. Not I've been monitoring it for now, and I can say that within 1 year, it's made huge leap. 2 years time, I think 2 years, huge leap with the development of artificial intelligence and with new approach to machine translation. The uh, the result is getting better and better. It will never replace human translators. Don't worry about that. But our job is transforming a bit. But here in this course, machine translation is prohibited 100%. Even if your first translations are not good, if you see that they're not good, please don't use machine translation. First of all, because if you start editing only machine translation, you have no chance to be a good translator in any time. And the second is that I know exactly how to check if you've used it or not. Even if you transform it completely, if you, I know exactly. So please just do it yourself. Maybe even if you translate less, if you don't have enough time for the whole translation, because sometimes it will be 3 pages or so, and you feel that you have no time for that, translate 1 page, but on your own, and will work on it properly, and you'll feel your progress in a better way. What else? When you translate, and you'll do it regularly, you'll have a task 1 week, not for each class, but for 1 week, and make sure that you understand, first thing, that you understand in full the source text. So each grammatical structure, each word or word combination, you have no doubts, and everything is absolutely clear to you. And the second thing is that I, I will ask you to polish your translation until you are absolutely happy with it. So this is another thing. If you don't like a sentence, that it sounds not very good, that stylistically is not right, that there is some logic broken, or so, please change it. So it's one of the things that we should do. We should always revise our translations, even if there is an editor afterwards. So from us on, so the something that we like should go. Of course, a human error is everywhere. We may not see some typo or another case or wrong, I don't know, preposition. Just it keeps our attention. But in general, we should be always happy.